Podcast is brought to you in part by Michigan Building and Mechanical, who are your home comfort specialists. Michigan Building and Mechanical, with 3 offices in the Grand Rapids area and Byron Center on Plainfield and Broadmoor, are ready to serve you at a moment's notice. We welcome Michigan Building and Mechanical as a partner with WKTV in supporting student athletes in our area. Michigan Building and Mechanical, your home comfort specialists, are proud to underwrite this telecast. Welcome to high school football on WKTV. It's playoff time. I'm Ray Peeler along with Lyle Berry, and tonight we're at Forest Hill Central, but actually it's the home field for the Kentwood Falcons. Ideal conditions.
And you couldn't have picked a nicer field to play on. That mud hole they played in last week had to be a bear for both teams. But whatever each team does well, they should be able to do it well tonight on this turf. The turf is dry, the air is dry, and there's not much wind. It'll just be an excellent night for football.
Well, last week it was a team that scored last one. I don't expect much different tonight, do you?
No. The tension and the excitement in the air is so thick out here you could cut it with a knife. And both these teams have been prepping hard all week, and you can be sure they're going to be knocking heads to get the job done tonight.
Both these coaches are going to have them ready.
Oh, Coach Ziegler and Coach Shillito are two of the finest young coaches in Western Michigan, and they'll have these guys ready and primed and knocking heads, like I said before, and hope for the best.
Okay, we'll be right back with the opening kickoff right after this message. We're WKTV, brought to you tonight and underwritten by Michigan Building and Mechanical. Well, there you see the Kentwood Falcons taking the field. The Grandville Bulldogs are already out on the far side. We're only about 2.5 minutes away from the kickoff here in the first playoff game of 2002 here at Forest Hill Central between the East Kentwood Falcons and the Grandville Bulldogs. The officials for tonight's game are an experienced crew from the Shoreline Officials Association. Mike Robillard is the referee. Dennis Kroll is the umpire. The back judge is Kent Klump. The linesman is Nick Pulaski, and the other linesman is Bob Sarachman. And we're going to take a look at the bracketing, Lyle, for this tournament. As you see here, top bracket is Rockford is going up against Muskegon tonight, and they'll play the winner of the Bay City Traverse City West next week. And as we see here, Grandville and East Kentwood were here tonight, and the winner of that game will play this game will play the winner of the Jenison Holland West Ottawa. So. You see the bracketing there, so we'll be
Rockford last year undefeated and got knocked off by Muskegon in this first round, and Rockford going over there tonight hoping they can return that favor.
Well, you might talk a little bit about these offenses, Lyle. They're both quite similar, although Grandville might throw a little bit more out of their offense than what Kentwood does.
These are both wing T teams, believe it or not. You probably won't see a wingman in either formation. Both of these coaches, Coach Shillito and Coach Ziegler, two of the most innovative wing T coaches in West Michigan. One of them running basically out of the shotgun, but you'll see a lot of wing T plays out of it. And then Coach Shillito running basically doubled tight ends in a full house backfield. So his formation is rather difficult to foul the ball. Grandville a little more wide open out of that shotgun. You shouldn't have too much trouble fouling the ball, but both of these are innovative forms of the wing T offense.
Well, Kentwood won the toss and elected to receive, which I think sometimes you defer, but in tournament I'm not sure. I think you probably want to get the football first.
Well, with the high profile offense that Kentwood has, they want their hands on that football. I mean, they're averaging close to 50 points a ball game, and the more points they get on the board early, the better off they feel. So
and if
not,
it's anything,
not surprising they took the kit to receive.
If it's anything like last week, the team that scores first and often wins and scores last. So you want to go up if you can. So
this is two good football teams, and last week's game is an indication of what it's going to be like tonight. We're going to be in for a very exciting evening.
Well, we see number 33, that's Brandon Webster, getting ready to kick off for the Bulldogs. Onside kick.
Onside.
right off 51, and I was looking downfield for the ball, and I lost track of it.
Well, he surprised him with an onside right off the bat. Good.
Well, they were successful twice last week with it, and so they came right out with it on the opening kickoff, and they take over the football just inside of Kentwood territory at about the 48-yard line.
I'll look for both these coaches to go all the tricks they've got in their bags tonight. There's no tomorrow for either team, and they're going to pull out all the stops, get this one going.
So we got Buddy Rivera as the quarterback. Sean Highbore, number 44, is usually the deep back. Rivera going left side. He's on the outside. It's a foot race. Touchdown Grandville. First play from scrimmage.
An excellent play. It's a bootleg play. They were in a T formation with double wings on both sides, brought the left wing in motion. A good fake by Rivera to the back, coming back in motion, and a good block on the outside. Didn't get the number, but if you watch the block on the outside by the wide receiver on the left side, you'll see that he was allowed Rivera to get around that corner. Good stock block there. I'd like to get his number because he did an excellent job.
Kyle Hinton almost had a shot at it and almost caught up to him again. So well, the extra point is good. So the Grandville Bulldogs out to a quick 7-0 lead here right in the first period with just 11:50 to go. So we'll be right back with the kickoff right after this message on WKTV, TV 25.
Every day on the set, we get to portray heroes.
But the men and women of the Naval Reserve are real-life neighbors, our friends.
They're out there every day, making a difference.
Sometimes even putting themselves in harm's way to keep our nation safe.
Making a difference.
That's what real heroes do.
Find out how you can make a difference by joining the Naval Reserve.
Call 1-800-USA-USNR.
The United States Naval Reserve. Stay strong.
Well, as you see there, the graphic is 21st year bringing you high school sports, and it's playoff time. Very exciting here on WKTV. Grandville once again kicking off. This time the kick comes down the sidelines, will go out of bounds, and now Kentwood will get good position and about the 35-yard line as it's illegal procedure on the kickoff.
Well, I'm sure they were looking for the same thing again. If it's not broke, don't fix it. And I'm sure Kent would have had it in the back of their mind. They may come right back to that onside kick, but they did send the ball deep. The fans barely had a chance to get settled in their seats, Ray, before we had all that excitement of that first play and a great run by Rivera for the touchdown.
Well, I missed the play completely. I took my eye off the football and looked down to see who was in the receiving position. The next thing I know, it's being downed for an onside kick. So,
well designed and well executed. It was a great fake by Rivera, but the big play was the block by the wide receiver on the outside that sprung Rivera.
Corey Sanders will have Hinton and Alaman in there. He jumped early, it looks like. Well, we'll see what the call is. Referee Mike Robillard indicates it's going to be offside to defense. So it'll be 1st down and 5. Well, they were crowding up on the line. They had almost 9 men up on the line there, Lyle, and one of them jumped.
They know they've got to stop Alleman in there. He's the fullback, and they run that fullback trap, and he runs it very well. And they get great blocking out of those guards on that trap block along that front, and they know they're going to have to shut that down early.
Hinton, Alleman, and Burns in the backfield right now with Corey Saunders. Give up the middle. Maybe a yard or two, but that's about it. 1 yard. That's Cole Alleman. 1 yard gain, really 2nd down and 4 for the Falcons at their own 41-yard line. That's the kind of play, Lyle, maybe doesn't work 2 or 3 times in a row, and then boom, you pop it for a big one. We've seen them do it.
It's a big play offense. There's no doubt about it. And all the plays in this wing T are big plays.
Corey Saunders calling the signals. It's like Hinton this time, right side.
44, the ball carrier.
Kyle gets another yard or so. It's going to be 3rd down and about 3.
Well, Hinton had a pretty good season himself, Ray. A lot of emphasis placed on Alleman this year with his 1,884 yards, but Hinton, his own rights, managed to amass 710 yards, a little better than 8 yards per carry. So it's a pretty potent backfield with Hinton and Foster back there with Alleman.
Well, now you've got Hinton, Alleman, and it looks like Burns, but we'll wait and see. 3rd down 2. Right up the middle. There he breaks it. Alleman all the way down inside the 25 to about the 23-yard line.
There's that fullback trap. It's a play. It's the base play of this offense, and they're going to run it time and time again. You may stop it once or twice, but you're not going to stop it all night long.
At it one more time.
You'll watch the trap. Watch the play. The trap by the guard, the right guard coming across and just threw a nice block and allowed Alleman to spring through there, and he did the rest once he got out in the open. A great run and a great block by the right guard.
Brings up 1st and 10.
1st and 10 for the Falcons. Foster, left side, cutting inside, down to about the 10-yard line. Eric Foster.
Well, it's going to sound like we're repeating ourselves calling these plays tonight, but this wing T operated out of this full house backfield, just basically a 4-play offense, and it's going to be that trap and the counter coming time and time again at you and throwing the occasional bootleg.
Ball's on about the 11.
Get a chance, we have to mention those linemen up front. They do a good job in there for the Falcons. Corey Saunders. Again, Allman. Right up the middle. Down to about the 7-yard line.
Well, on the big run by Alleman, the right guard, that was number 50, Shadi Kratachet, he threw a great block and allowed Alleman make that big gain 2 plays previous. They use a lot of traps by those guards in this offense, and when they're coming to the left side, it'll be Kratachet on that side, and the other side, the other guard is Justin Pollock, number 59. You keep an eye on those two, you can get a pretty good idea where the ball's going to go.
That's Ronald Burns. No, keeping it was Saunders coming left side. Gets back to line of scrimmage, but that's about it, Lyle.
Tackled by 31. Rectoring.
With all that deception going on in the backfield, it's amazing that the White Shirts can get there with as many people as they did. And that time the Bulldogs had 4 people on the ball carrier. Good job of sizing up that play.
Foster back in now as Burns come out. So we got Hinton, Foster, and Alleman in that backfield along with Corey Saunders. You see they keep both ends in. They don't split anybody out. Got an official's timeout. Nope. Timeout Grandville. So they take their first timeout of the night. And we'll take a break with the Michigan Building and Mechanical score. The Grandville Bulldogs 7, East Kentwood Falcons nothing. We'll be right back right after this message. We're WKTV TV 25.
Stay eligible for student loans, job training, and government jobs. Register with Selective Service when you turn 18. Your future is riding on it.
Well, 8:38 to go. It's 3rd down and 8 at about the 8, but they can get a first down. It looks like inches from the goal line. It's
it's going to be close.
It would be, yes.
And it's a big series for the Falcons too. As you saw last week, it was a case of basically the last team with the football, and you don't want to get 2 touchdowns down tonight. So it's important that you answer score by the each team. So Kentwood's going to try hard to get this ball in the end zone.
Give up the middle to Alleman. He's down. Well, now they're going to measure. I bet it's going to be close to first down.
It's going to be very close. I'm surprised he didn't get the football in the end zone. That ball, the nose has got to be almost touching that goal line. It's got to be that close.
I think it's going to be. It's going to be very close. It's possible they got 1st and goal, right here. Oh, no, they're not even going to measure. Oh yeah, they are too. Well, we mentioned we got 21st year bringing you high school sports here on WKTV, and some of the people that have been with us for a long time are the people underwriting tonight's ball game, Michigan Building and Mechanical. We appreciate their support. in supporting high school athletes, so it's a few inches short. I don't know how it could be short and not be in the goal line. It was that close.
It's amazing.
So it's
That
fourth
ball's gotta
down.
be almost touching that white line down there.
Well,
Look for Grandville to stack it up hard inside, and I don't look for him to do anything but give the ball to Alleman on this play. He's 5'9", 200 pounds, Ray. He's a horse, and he's got some great thighs on those legs, and he's got great power.
we've got Hinton, Alman, and Foster are the backs now with Corey Saunders. Fourth down. As close as it is, I think you got to get it in.
He's in. Touchdown.
Wow. So I guess you'd call that 1 yard run, although it was more like 6 inches.
If it was that.
8:17 to go. Take a look at it.
Well, you give it to Alleman, there's no doubt. The only other choice here would have been a quarterback sneak, but you got a back like Alleman back there. He's been carrying the load for you all season. There's no reason to do anything different but give it to him and get that ball in the end zone.
Well, that capped off a 65-yard drive as they started on their own 35, and they'll go for 2. They usually do. I have not hardly ever seen them try the extra point with a kick this year. Alleman, right? No.
It's going to be short.
That's Ronald Burns, but it's short. The run is no good. And so it's with 6:17 to go. It's the Grandville Bulldogs 7, the East Kentwood Falcons 6. We'll be right back with a kickoff right after this message. We're WKTV TV 25.
Don't bug out.
Well, Lyle, we haven't played 4 minutes yet, and we got 2 scores on the board.
Well, I don't expect it being different throughout the ball game. These are both high-profile offensive teams, and Grandville started a little bit slow in the season, but Coach Irv Ziegler got them going, and they've been quite productive on the offensive side of the ball. We don't have an awful lot of stats on Grandville, but we know that Buddy Rivera, one of the better quarterbacks in the area, but not only throwing the ball, but showed us what he can do with his feet in that first play from scrimmage.
Yeah. Good kick. All the way back to about the 10. Up there, bring right up the middle. He leaped up in the air and got down at about the 25, 26-yard line.
That was a great return. They formed a wall up there in front, a wedge, and he got right behind it and put his nose right into it. And it's a sign of a good running back that'll follow that wall and right into this mass of humanity. And he almost got through there. Great run back.
I think that was Nick Osfee, number 3. So now, Buddy Rivera will bring his team up the line again. He puts 3 men wide to the right, 1 wide left. He has 1 setback with him, which will probably be Sean Highbore, number 44.
I think it's Andrew Hawkins.
Is it
45.
Hawkins? Okay, Hawkins. Right straight ahead. Maybe a yard, not even that. Now, last week we saw them go with a direct snap right to Hawkins on occasion too, Lyle.
Well, they have that option with 2 of them standing back there, with Rivera being the quarterback, and you could call Hawkins in that particular situation the trigger. And
Second down, about 11.
they will run a lot of wing T plays out of this formation, Ray.
So we have Andrew Hawkins is the setback with Buddy Rivera. Again, 3 men split wide right. Looking, throw, he's going to run with it. Right side got the first down up to about the 40-yard line, close to it.
Well, the Falcons going to have to take care of business on defense because Rivera is too dangerous back there. When they spread trips to the right like they did and a single receiver to the left, Kentwood in a zone defense with a safety deep and playing deep outside and playing underneath with the corners, they're leaving Rivera a lot of room to run. Basically, what you got inside is 6-on-6, and that's a pretty wide open football. So they're going to have to pay attention across that front on defense.
So 1st and 10, mark it at the 40-yard line. Direct snap. Rivera again, keeper this time. He's got about 7 or 8. Right up the middle, Buddy Rivera, up to about the 47-yard line.
Kentwood operates out of a 4-4 defense, right? They'll use 4 down linemen, 4 linebackers, and 3 deep, and try to cover that secondary with the zone defense. And using those 4 linebackers inside to help cover the hooks and the flat zone. So they basically are seven in the on the pass protection.
How much latitude has Rivera got back there to run versus hand up? Is he pretty much allowed to do what he sees when he gets there?
If they've got a pass play call, more than likely, yes. Basically, the running plays are probably sent in by Coach Ziegler, and if it's going to be a bootleg or if it's going to be a handoff to one of the backs or one of the wingmen coming in motion, but when he gets that ball looking to throw the ball, then it's a pass run option, and the receivers are covered. He's going to tuck it and go, and he's got those great feet. You're going to have to be careful.
It's going to be 3rd down and 3 as Sean Highborn picked up a yard or 2 that last play. Now they split 2 men wide right, 1 left. They have 2 setbacks back with Rivera. Looking, throws right out here to number 3. That's Nick Osfeen. Osfeen is stopped at the line of scrimmage. And it's going to be 4th down and about 4. Mark it at about the 45-yard line. We see whether it's going to mark it right at the 45.
Well, that was great pursuit to the football. That was a little bubble screen coming out here to the receiver on the right side, and Kentwood reacted very quickly and got a lot of people to the football in a big hurry. And that's a mark of a good defensive ball club.
Well, they're in punt formation now.
Back punting, number 14.
It looked like they're going to come after him. They're covering the 2 hammers on the outside, but they're bringing 8 people hard on that football.
That's Drew Osterhaus back in punt formation. Got it. Gets the kick away. High kick. Coming down. No, his knee went down. His knee went down on the 21-yard line. So when the knee goes, Nick Osfeen.
Corey Sanders receiving.
Was that Corey?
Yeah,
number 8?
Number 3.
Oh, number 3. Oh, sorry, I got to put my card over. Corey, the quarterback. Okay, so 1st and 10.
He's one of the better athletes on this team, and he does he goes back deep on the kickoffs and also handles the punt return and handles the quarterback chores also. Good athlete.
So let's see as they break it. We've got Alman, Hinton, and Foster in the backfield. Foster up the middle, gain of about 5, call it 4, to 25.
Well, the Bulldogs operate out of a 5 front, a base 5 array, but they've got 9 people in that box and 10 people or 11 people within 6 or 7 yards of that football, so they're playing hard against the run. Kentwood doesn't throw the ball much this year. We look at the stats. I think he only put it up 18 times and 6 completions, but those 6 went for touchdowns. So 6 big pass plays. They rely mostly on this run, and Grandville is trying to stop it.
Hinton, Alman, and Foster again in the backfield with Saunders. Alman going to be about 2 yards short of the 1st down, up to about the 29.
The frightening thing about Alleman, Ray, is he's only a junior.
Yeah, and he's had put up some terrific numbers this year.
I was just looking at the stats, a little over 1,800 yards and average, and I think it was a little over 12 yards a carry. So
Ronald Burns in the lineup now as he replaces, I think Hinton came out. Let's see.
There's 9 people within 3 yards of that football, of that line of scrimmage.
Up the middle, Alman, he's got the 1st down.
Ball gear to number 30, Hollyman.
It's going to be close, but I'd say he's got it. We'll see what the mark is. Looks like got a pretty good mark.
67 on the tackle, Gritter.
Referee Mike Robillard takes a look at it, says it's 1st down. So 1st and 10, mark it at the 31-yard line.
The way the Bulldogs got that line of scrimmage packed, every yard they get is going to be well earned, and it's going to be an effort on the backs. These linemen are going to have their hands full up front for the Falcons, but so far they've done a pretty good job.
3:51 to go, 1st period. Saunders keeping it, spinning around, coming up, gets about 4. up to about the 34-yard line. Be second down and 6.
Kaminsky. A little help from 34, Richardson.
Did a good job of keeping. He does a good job of hiding that ball on his hip, and then he spun around and come up through the line.
Well, the backs do a great job of faking. You've got to carry out your fakes in this wing T offense. If you don't carry out the fakes, you might as well junk the offense. But all these backs do an excellent job, and the quarterback does a good job of faking and also running the bootleg.
Foster. Breaking it open. Off cross midfield down to the 45-yard line of Grandville. Eric Foster.
Number 11, Kaminsky. Number 34.
Take a look at it again, Lyle.
Watch the right guard come out of there and pull on this and lead the way. Looks like number 58, and I'll get his name here in just a second. It's a little counter play, faking first Alleman up inside and then given to Foster coming off this left side. But a great block by number 58, and that's Rick, looks like Toltman.
Good job on the replay cameras, guys. Foster again, straight ahead.
Ball getter
Stopped
number
right
5,
there.
Eric Foster. Tackled by McCullough. And last could be number
Come
1.
right back to that counter play. A lot of times run that play once or twice in a row. He'd had success on it the first time. Come right back with it and try it again. You'll see those counter plays, of course, run time and time again, right along with that fullback trap and throw in the occasional bootleg in there by Sanders. So.
And he gained about a yard. Second down, 9. Whoop, he stumbled. And he's going to be caught in the backfield. They say a loose ball.
Quarterback carry on that.
It didn't come out of there clean with the ball. There was a little mix-up on the snap. The ball got out of control. You can see him lose control of it just momentarily here and almost lost it on the collision in the backfield, trying to gain control of the football. But good presence of mind by Sanders to recover the ball and try to make something positive happen out of it.
Third down, a little more than 10 yards to go. But we've got Burns in there now, along with Allman and Hinton, I believe it is, and maybe it's Foster. We'll see who's on the right side. That's Foster, but it's kept by Saunders. Keeps it. Right side's got the first down and then some. Going to be thrown out of bounds at about the 20-yard line.
Well, there's the bootleg we were talking about. After you run that counter and that fullback trap enough, they're going to concentrate on jamming that inside in there and gives Sanders a little bit of room to get to the outside, and he did. Number 25 got a block on the outside and sprung him for a big gain. Those backs, when they're done carrying out their fakes, also become blockers, and that time 25 did a nice job. It looked like the leak.
Yep, what's down there ahead of him. So now we got Hinton, Allman, and Foster behind Saunders. First and 10. Well, Allman straight ahead. Gets maybe a yard, but that's it. Some real hitting going on that line there, Lyle. I was zeroing in on the right guard. And he ended up in the bottom of the pile. It's some really hard hitting football.
Well, you know, the spacing that the Falcons run in there is so tight. Yeah. It's amazing that Grandville can find room to squeeze 9 people in there on that line of scrimmage, but they're doing it, and they're trying to cave that thing in to keep Alleman from getting through on that fullback trap.
There's Alleman tripped up. Mike Levan got just a hand on his foot and tripped him up. Otherwise, he had some daylight there. It's going to be third down and 6.
Well, they're doing nothing different. Granville hasn't seen anything that they didn't expect out of Kentwood. Kentwood has probably run these 4 plays, I'd hate to guess the number of times this season, and since Coach Shillito has been there, it's repetition until it becomes almost automatic, and this offensive line gets very good at blocking it.
Well, that's the end of the first period here at Forest Hills Central with the East Kentwood Falcons trailing the Grandville Bulldogs. Your Michigan Building and Mechanical score, Grandville 7, East Kentwood 6. We'll be right back with the second quarter right after this message.
The only difference between a grape and a raisin is time spent in the sun. Ever wonder what the sun is doing to you?
Back here at Forest Hills Central. Played one quarter. Each team scored early within 4 minutes, but now we've going back and forth. But, of course, East Kentwood now in the red zone, and they've got 3rd down and 6 on the 15-yard line.
Well, they've been doing a good job of ball control. Basically, this is a good ball control offense. It's also a big play offense, but this last possession has been more of a ball control, and they've been punching their way down the field. And like you said, now we're knocking on the door to down that red zone, and they'd like to get this in before Grandville gets their hands on the ball again. They know they're going to need every point they can get tonight, Ray.
Well, we've got Hinton, Allman, and Foster are in there now. Here he goes. Allman. Touchdown.
He makes it look so easy, Ray. That line, just amazing. Grandville knows where it's coming from, and Kentwood knows where they're going with that ball, and that line is just doing an excellent job of opening these holes. Watch Allman just break through behind the trap blocks of those guards.
Bring him down, but it's in the end zone and too late. So with 11:55, used up 5 seconds here in the second period. Kentwood takes the lead.
Well, if he gets to those linebackers, gets that deep in the secondary, at the linebacker depth, it's going to be you can usually count on a big gain.
Going for 2, throwing into the end zone, got a man open. Oh, Burns just out of off his fingertips. Or number 25, actually, was it? Oh, I think it was 23, Burns. Yep, it was.
Number 23. Ball hung up just a little bit. If it got to him a little bit sooner, nice deception in the backfield. Sanders did a good job of faking that ball to the backs, and then a little rollout pass to the right side here. That ball could have been just a little bit quicker. It may have been a little more successful.
Well, we'll keep it right here before we go back to the kickoff and remind you that we're going to be here as long as the Kentwood Falcons are in the playoffs or the South Christian Sailors who are in our viewing area. South Christian playing at Linden tonight. Hopefully they'll be successful, and hopefully Kentwood comes out victorious here tonight. We'll follow those teams, but basically we'll stay with Kentwood as long as they are in it. And
that South Christian game has got to be what you call a geographical pairing. Right? You can only get so many teams in an area.
They weren't too happy about that, I don't think. But then, you know, I guess a lot of teams would say, hey, we don't care where we got to go. Just let us be in the playoffs.
That's right.
So
you look at the OK Red here with 5 teams in the playoffs. They had to play somewhere, so they end up putting 4 of them in the same district, and that's tough.
We're going to take a look at that at halftime, the final standings of the OK League this year, and show you all the teams that made the playoffs this year. It's just fantastic, the number of teams that have done it. Good kick. This one's going to go all the way down to the 2-yard line. Coming back, right up the middle, picking his way, doing a good job, all the way up to about the 20-yard line, 21-yard line. So good 20-yard return.
I think that was Osteen, number 3.
Yeah, it was. He's the one. He's the guy that takes their kicks and runs them back. One of their receivers also. So got good hands and good speed. So 1st and 10 for Grandville at their own 21.
What I like about him, Ray, is he's not afraid to put his nose and go north and south, even if it's done on an east and west field. But he gets that ball going forward and does a good job of giving Grandville good field position on these kickoffs.
So Buddy Rivera will split 2 men wide to the left, 1 to the right. Here's Hawkins with him in the backfield. Gives it to Hawkins. Hawkins going right side. Got some running room. Cole Elman slowed him up, and Matthew Shillito caught him, but he got a 1st down, and he's up all the way to about the 42-yard line.
Well executed play. Just a little quick toss that time. They brought the wing back in motion, the lead block on that. Just a little quick toss. You'll watch Rivera gets a little quick toss going to the right, and then the back doing the rest of it.
And he's got Osteen out there running interference. Got a key block right there. Osteen dead on the corner.
And also got a good block for number 78 out there. Looked like I got that number right.
1st and 10. Rivera looking, runs it right up the middle, picks his way, got a first down to about the 46-yard line.
Well, that's what we were talking about earlier. That's a pass-run option. He was looking to pass, but when things break down, good coverage by the Falcon secondary, and he realized it, tucked it up, and basically turned it into a quarterback draw. Made a nice gain.
Well, he's 6 foot, 175 pounds. He's a speedster too.
You got to pay attention to him. He's got a lot of tools.
Osfeen in the slot left now. Fake reverse, coming this side. 44, Hybor. Sean gets it down to about the 40-yard line.
Well, faking the reverse, coming back from the right to the left here, and then using the wideout on the left side to faking going across the formation, but give the Falcons credit on defense. Stayed home and did the job.
Gain of 6. It's going to be 2nd down and 4 for the Bulldogs. Ball is right on the 40-yard line of the Falcons. Split it, 2 men wide to the right now. Osfeen in the slot there. Back to throw, Rivera. Got Osfeen down on about the 25-yard line. Good for the first down.
That was a great strike. A little slant, staying in that seam on the outside, and Rivera laid it right on the numbers.
Just
you
about
see
a
it.
2-step drop and hits him right there. Osfeen gets down the field quick.
Oh, he showed us that speed on those kickoff returns, so he can do it. But he was out there unmolested and just basically ran a little slant into that wide seam out there, and passes right on the numbers.
Hawkins, along with Hybor in the backfield with Rivera.
Here comes
this
the
is
reverse.
The reverse now to Osfeen, going right side.
Look at the block by Rivera.
Well, I'll tell you what, Eric Foster.
Here comes a flag.
Right there. There's a late hit, unfortunately. But Foster made the tackle over there, did a good job. But I believe it's going to be a penalty against the Falcons for a late hit there on a block.
Well, they just ran a fake on this play about 2 plays before, and this time they gave it to, who was it, Oostveen?
Yes.
Carried the ball. But a great block by Rivera after he made the handoff and led the play going around that right side.
Was a personal foul. It's a late hit over there on the far side.
Well, you don't like to see those things, but those are
well,
emotion-type penalties.
Yep.
You know, it's nothing intentional or trying to do a good job of getting to the ball, and sometimes you get just a little bit late.
Yeah,
but
your momentum is taking you sometimes.
Right.
And so he's got Andrew Hawkins in the backfield with him, he being Buddy Rivera. Taking the direct snap, pitches to Hawkins. Hawkins going right side. There's a flag. That could be a hold or a block in the back over there. So they may walk it back the other way now.
Yeah. They've got a lot of mileage out of that little quick toss.
Oh, it was 1st and 10 on the 12, and then we'll see. They're going to walk it back the other way, I think.
Hawkins does a nice job once he gets his hands on the ball. He's a big back, and he's got great speed, and I like the way he runs, Ray, changing directions on the move.
They move the ball out to about the 22-yard line now. It's going to be first down, and, well, they got to go about 20.
Well, they still have room inside that 5-yard line for a first down.
Rivera has Hawkins with him. He's got Hybor in the slot now, right. Hawkins coming left side. They're stringing it out. It gets about maybe 3 or 4. Well, it looks like 5. They'll gain 5 again. So it's going to be 2nd down and 15. Take a look at it. Just straight handoff. He comes to the left side, Lyle.
Just a little sweep coming to his left side. They've got him spread, or like I said, they're playing about 6-on-6 in the front, across that front, or 7-on-7, and trying to give Hawkins room to string it out and make a big wide running play out of it. Good play selection. They got 5 yards back. They don't have to get it all back in one play. They're in a 4-down zone.
Hawkins once again back there with Rivera. Rivera dropping back, looking. He's going to run up the middle. Gets back to about the 20 or the 15 inside of it. It's going to be 3rd down and about 14.
He's got great presence of mind in that pocket. He's coming up limping to it. I don't like the looks of that, but he has great presence of mind in that pocket.
Oh, this would be a serious blow to the Grandville strategy here if he's got to go out, and
more than likely
he's going to the sideline. We'll see if they take a timeout
they're going to bring in Brad Echek.
Okay.
Number 10. He's listed as the backup quarterback. He's a
timeout
sophomore.
Grandville as a good timeout by Irv Ziegler to find out what the situation is over there, his quarterback. So let's take a break for a public service announcement. Remind you the Michigan Building and Mechanical scores: East Kentwood Falcons 12, the Grandville Bulldogs 7. We'll be right back right after this message.
So many kids' activities today seem to leave out the activity part. New research tells us that just getting children to walk an extra 35 minutes a day could spare them the pain of thinning bones later in life. Encourage your kids to get up, get out, and get moving.
Hello. Hey, Grandma, how about another grape soda?
For more advice on how kids can build strong bones, visit AAOS.org, a public service message from the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons.
Well, I got the glasses on and looking over at the far sideline trying to see what...
Well, that's Brad Echek in there.
It looked like it was a leg injury of some type, Lyle.
He was limping coming out of there.
Yeah. So they got Brad Echek in there now as a quarterback. He's got two setbacks with him. He's got Hawkins and Hybor. Echek wrote. Oh, he gives it to Hawkins. Hawkins throws.
Oh, there's interference in the end zone.
That's probably a good call, Lyle.
Oh, no doubt about it.
It's probably a good penalty, I mean.
You bet. Good penalty to take.
Because that was a sure touchdown.
Yeah.
He was beaten.
He was beaten. If they got the ball to him a little bit sooner, watch Hawkins. It takes a little bit more time than he wanted to, but once he got the ball up in the air, the defensive back did a good job making sure that wasn't a touchdown. So it is a good penalty.
Yeah, no doubt about it would have been a touchdown. He was beaten and didn't know where the ball was and just had to defend it. So
they turned that play into something positive. The first snap there by Echek had a little collision with the backs in the backfield. So let's hope he can get that under control and get those jitters out.
He's going to go under center now with one setback in motion.
That's Hawkins again.
Right side, it was first and goal at about the 7, and he picks up about 3. He's going to be at about the 4-yard line. I'm going to mark it at the 5.
Well, they operated out of a double wing that time and put Echek under the center and brought Hawkins back in motion, gave the ball to him right as he got behind the quarterback and turned it into a little bit of a power sweep going off that right side, and Hawkins picked up 2 or 3 nice yards.
From the 5-yard line.
They got Echek listed as a 5'11", 160-pound sophomore, so a lot of pressure on a young man.
Right up the middle.
45 to ball carrier.
It's, again, Andrew Hawkins. It's going to be 3rd down and goal. Mark it at the 4.
Sean Hybor.
So I guess it was Hybor carried that time, number 44.
The Bulldogs showed great patience in this drive, Ray. Even they were facing the big 1st and 20 situation, they pecked away and got a little bit back at a time, not trying to get it all back at once, and did a nice job of putting themselves down here in scoring position.
They started on their own 21. Puts a man in motion. Gives it to him. Hawkins. Oh, he's tripped up in the backfield. Good job by Eric Foster, number 5. Big play defensively, Lyle.
Oh, he shot right across there. Stayed home, did a nice job. Hawkins got a little wider than he probably wanted to. He wanted to probably get a little bit north and south quicker than he did, but the Falcon defense strung him out, and Foster waiting on him and did a nice job in the open field.
Grandville takes another timeout. That's their 3rd timeout of the half, their last they can have of this half. So we'll take a break again. Remind you, your Michigan Building and Mechanical score is the East Kentwood Falcons 12, the Grandville Bulldogs 7. We'll be right back. We're TV 25.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
In these turbulent times, let us not erode the liberties our country was built on.
Let it shine.
Now back here at Forest Hill Central, you get a look at the nice green carpet out there, and that is artificial surface, and it is a beautiful playing surface. Ideal conditions for a high school football playoff game, Lyle.
Oh, the temperature is just right. There's very little wind, and the air itself is dry, so whatever these teams do, they should be able to do it well tonight.
Trips left. Vitek throwing into the end zone. Overthrown, incomplete on 4th down, and the Falcons will take over. Brad Isiak replacing the injured Buddy Rivera, throws it in the end zone, but it's a little bit high.
Tough situation to play sophomore in here. Big play, 4th and 5, and he's running out of room in that the end zone. Good coverage by the Falcons secondary.
Actually, he looked at about 1 or 2 other receivers before he threw the ball down there, so the Falcons had it well covered.
Where they miss Rivera in a situation like that, he's probably a little bit more creative with the experience he's had running that offense. It might have been a little bit different story had he been back there.
So the Falcons take over on their own 10-yard line. 1st and 10. Give up the middle. Looks like Alman, number 30.
Number 30.
Fullback.
The ball carrier. By number 67.
Get a chance, Ray, you want to watch these other backs carrying out their fakes. I'm just watching number 44 come out of the backfield there, Hinton, and he had 2 white shirts chasing him, making sure he didn't have the ball. So you got to pay attention to what you're doing on defense. It's kind of a defense by assignment out there, and you got to stay home and do your job, or otherwise you're going to get burned by these backs coming out of that wing T offense.
And Saunders does the same thing. The quarterback, after he hands it off, he acts like he's got it on his hip, and on occasion he does.
Yep, they all do. He's
got it right now, right there. See, coming out here left side. He's got a 1st down. He's up to about the 27, 28-yard line.
Well, that faking is drilled into them. They do this time and time and time again in practice, and if you don't carry out your fakes, I'm sure they're going to hear it from Coach Shillito, but that's just concentration and confidence in what you're doing and doing it time and time again.
Here's a perfect example of putting the ball on your hip right there. Good shot of it.
If you're going to run this offense, you have to have discipline in carrying out the fakes, and if you don't, you might as well junk it.
5:27 to go in the second period. Falcons lead 12-7. Hinton spinning through the hole. All the way up to about the 39-yard line. Close to the 1st down. I think he's got it.
A nice run by Hinton on that little counter play. Again, like we said, playing in the shadows of Alleman all year long, but he still came up with a little over 8 yards of carry in the regular season through 9 ball games. Total of 710 yards, so that's a pretty potent backfield.
1st and 10. This drive started on their own 10 when they turned the Bulldogs drive back away. Alban all the way into Bulldog territory down to about the 42-yard line.
I'm sure these safeties and linebackers don't want to see Alleman coming out there into that secondary with that ball because he is a load to bring down. Good job by the safety here, and I'll get his name and number. Just number 11 for the Bulldogs, and that's Krasminski. David Krasminski did a nice job of making sure he didn't go any further, and he did.
51, that's Justin Berry, the center. I want to get some of these linemen. They're doing a great job up front there.
Both these lines have done a good job all night long.
We got 58. See 59. We got him. That's Justin Pollock.
68.
68's Matthew Cableman. And the center is Justin Berry. Shady
Gladyshay is number 50. That's Shoddy.
Foster. Looks like he's close to the 1st down.
Foster is the carrier.
Nope. I mean, just back the line of scrimmage. I'm sorry. It's going to be 3rd down.
And number 38.
If these numbers are right, Rick, Toltman or Tootman, number 58, has seen a lot of action out there doing a good job.
I've got to put him on my chart here.
Ball remains on 39-yard line of Grandville.
He's playing at, what is it, right guard or right tackle slot there?
He's playing on that right side. He's doing a good job of pulling on that trap block. It's Tootman. My ink was looked like an L on my page there, but
up the middle. There's a late hit there on Corey Saunders. He carried out the fake and he drew the tackle out there, but it was a little bit too late. It's going to be a first down for the Bulldogs.
Automatic first down.
well, they're not very happy on the other side, and for the most part, you can't blame them. These backs carrying out these fakes, and these kids are taught that anybody who's coming out looking like they've got the football has got to be put down. And I'm sure the official thought it was just a little bit too late on that particular situation. But you've got to put these backs down or pay attention to them. And it's not an unnecessary type thing. It's a type of situation that shouldn't be called.
Well, there's Ziegler's having his say over there with the referee, Mike Robillard, and the other coaching staff, but he's got to be careful here that he doesn't draw a penalty himself or his staff.
Well, these backs are free games, or free game when they're carrying those out, those fakes.
Giving the linesmen a hard time too, but they better get back within that 40-yard marker there, the 35-yard marker. They don't draw a penalty yet. Again, 1st and 10. Gonna throw it. Got Foster open? No, broken up right at the goal line.
A great job
number
by
one there, Mike Lascovy. Take a look at it.
Waggle pass here. It's a bootleg pass. It's what they call a waggle, and they slipped him out into that right corner of that end zone. But a nice job by Lascovy getting back there. Matt had his eye on the ball all the way and knocked it down.
2nd down, 10. Hinton. Alman. Foster in the backfield. Alman straight ahead.
Ball run up the middle.
Down inside the 22, about the 18.
Tackled by
Clock running with 2:44.
I understand his name has been butchered quite a bit this year, Ray.
His mother stopped me on the way up. She said, will you please do his name right? I said, what is it? She says, it's Alman. I said, okay. I've been butchering it for about 4 ball games this year.
It doesn't take away from the...
There's a keeper. Saunders coming right side down to about the 12-yard line.
Brought down by number
Going to be
11.
close for the first down, is it?
You'll see the bootleg coming again. Good faking in that backfield, and he's putting that ball on his hip and coming out there around that right side.
So it's first down. 1st and 10 at the 12. 11.5-yard line, so they got to get to the 1-yard line for a first down. 2 minutes, 9 seconds. They sure would like to punch this one in before halftime here, Lyle.
Yeah, I was going to say, you throw a quarterback with the ability to run the ball like he's got into that backfield, into that mix with the other 3 backs there. That's a pretty potent running attack.
Foster, left side, driving through. Down to about the 5. Eric Foster doing a good job. Eric, as we mentioned last week, is the son of Bruce Foster, who is the athletic director at Kellogg'sville High School, Lyle.
Talked to him before the ball game, and he's quite excited about what's going on out here tonight.
Well, he's got reason to be real proud.
Yep. They've also got a young gal from their school tomorrow going to represent the school in the cross-country state finals. She's 2-time defending state champ, and that's Nicole Bush, and she's going for a 3-peat tomorrow, so we wish her an awful lot of luck.
Well, East Kentwood takes a timeout with 1:19 to go. It's 2nd down and 4. We'll be right back. Your Michigan Building and Mechanical score is the Falcons 12, the Bulldogs 7. We'll be right back after this message.
There are people with a calling. Most Most serve 1 weekend a month and 2 weeks a year. Earning money for college. Protecting their community. In the Army National Guard, you can.
Well, you see Coach John Shillito right there on the sideline, giving his team some last-minute instructions here after the timeout with 2nd down and 4, the ball on the 5-yard line. 1:19 to go. They lead 12-7. Would certainly like to punch it in here and go up at least 18-7 or 20-7. So we've got Hinton, Alman, and Foster in the backfield. Alman straight ahead, down to about the 3. Jack Richardson on the tackle for the Bulldogs. Clock running with 1:03. 3rd down. Timeout, Kentwood. They use their 2nd timeout of the first half. So they can get their signal straight, Lyle. We'll keep it right here. Remind you that we will be following the playoffs if we have Kentwood or South Christian in the playoffs. But then we're also covering girls basketball on Tuesday nights. So join us on WKTV Tuesday nights at 11:30. And, of course, Friday nights at 11:30 with the replays the following day. Our 21st year of covering high school sports on WKTV. We're really proud of that. We started out at Lee High School 21 years ago, and we're still doing it every Friday night from football season through the basketball season, through the March Madness, Lyle.
Best ticket in town.
Can't beat high school sports. So 56 seconds to remain in the first half. Kentwood has the ball at the 3-yard line, 3rd down, 1 yard for a first down, and of course 3 for the touchdown. Trying hard to get it in. They have one more timeout left.
Well, that was a good timeout by Coach Shillito. It stops the clock and gives him a chance to talk to his kids, get them all on the same page. It's 3rd down and short. They've got plenty of time to punch this thing in, but they're going to have to come up with their best effort here. Nothing that the Bulldogs would like more than to put a stop on and try to get a little momentum going into halftime.
Well, if they don't get it, they could call a timeout and set up the field goal if they wanted to kick it. Foster, left side, touchdown, Eric Foster.
What a nice run by Foster. You were watching the nice counter play. They faked that ball to Alleman up front, and then Foster cutting off that fake and then knifing his way into the end zone. Found a little hole to the outside and then back to the inside. Just a nice piece of running once he got the ball and fouled those blockers and put it right in the end zone.
Wow, that was
nice
a
job.
90-yard drive. They started on their own 10. If you recall, it was 4th and goal over here, and they took over on the 10-yard line, and they went 90 yards.
Typical of what they've been doing all year. They haven't exploded for the big score. They've been able to use ball control and take it down the field and score. So.
Keeper, Corey Saunders in for 2. Got the 2-point conversion, and they're up 20-7 with 53 seconds remaining. So let's take a break. Go take a look at the extra point replay.
You got a lot of patience here by Sanders. Stand in there with all that action going around him making 2 or 3 fakes before he takes off with the football. That's just great concentration and great confidence in that offensive line that people are not going to be hanging all over him before he gets a chance to do his thing. And once he did that, he found an easy way to the end zone. Nice piece of blocking up front and great concentration on Sanders' part.
Well, I'll tell you what, Coach Shillito's not resting easy here because he had a nice lead last week too, and they came back and made a real ball game of it. So the Falcons are not resting easy, but that was a big score, putting them up 13 points here with less than a minute to go in the first half, and they will now kick it away.
Well, I think he knows and feels he's got to have every point that he can in a game like this, and especially with a team like Grandville who can put points on the board also, so as they showed last week.
So the Falcons will kick off. Good kick. High kick. Taken down on the 10-yard line. Oh, got his Right up the middle. Battling.
Number 23.
Well, that's Justin Kohler. A nice run back there from the 10 all the way up to about the 25.
He's coming up limping a little bit, too.
So let's see. Who's the quarterback? Rivera's back in.
Rivera's back in. Let's
good.
hope it was nothing serious.
That's good. We hate to see ball players get injured.
Well, you'd like both teams to be at full strength.
Well, yeah, you want to, yeah, that's right.
Don't want either one of them to be at a disadvantage in a situation like this. It's too much at stake.
Back to throw. Throws deep. Nope, overthrow. Incomplete with 40 seconds to go. It'll be second down and 10. Mark it at the, what is it, 27? Yep, looks like it.
I don't know if it was a mix-up in communications, but it looked like 23 pulled up short and turned it into an out, and it looked like Rivera was looking for him to go long, and the ball was thrown over his head.
So he's got 2 men in the backfield with him. 2 men split wide right, 1 left. Give to Hawkins, right side, running, going for the sideline, cutting it up. Knocked out of bounds over there, run out of bounds.
Well, he did a good job of staying on his feet, Ray. He could have been stopped in the backfield. They had him look like they had him hemmed in, and he gets away and be able to turn it into a pretty nice gain and also get out of bounds and stop the clock, give him one more shot.
33 seconds. We've seen Buddy Rivera. That's a lot of time for a young man like him. But you see Kentwood dropping people back now.
He's going to deepen up that 3 deep zone a little bit deeper. And
2 setbacks with him. You know, Grandville Center does a great job, Lyle, getting that football back there. Throw is deep.
Oh, there's going to be interference.
That's interference, yep.
Yeah. Well, any of these centers, Ray, to have to snap that ball as many times as they do, direct snap to the quarterback in that shotgun offense, is they're doing a good job.
Mm-hmm. Well, take a look at it. Once again, he gets it up in the air.
The receiver had great position, and there's no doubt that he was either going to catch the ball or be interfered with. And it's a nice throw by Rivera. Took his time and laid it right in there. Well, in high school ball, it's a 10-yard penalty, an automatic first down.
Only 5 seconds went off the clock, too.
Right.
So it's first and 10, mark it at the 46-yard line. Back to throw. Again, over the middle. Caught by number 33 for Grandville.
Brandon
Webster.
A nice throw by Rivera. You watch him, little post pattern. Webster going right down the center of the formation and hauling that ball in. Great concentration to make the catch, and then doing a good job of running once he got the ball.
Well, he kills the clock with an incomplete pass. They do not have any timeouts left, but in high school now you can spike it. So
just called clocking the ball. They take the ball and put it right down right now, and that stops the clock.
So 17 seconds to go. It's first down and 10. Mark the ball at the 18-yard line.
Great addition to the high school rules. Been in the college ball for quite a while, but just recently in the high school rules.
Well, there's a kind of a draw play up the middle.
They're going to have to get up in a hurry.
He's going to have to
clock that ball one more time.
But Rivera can do it.
He did.
He does. So it's going to be fourth down now. And they got one last play here with 5 seconds to go. Are they going to maybe bring in the field goal team here? I don't know.
Well, they're bringing in a kicking team, but still
don't be
remains
surprised
to be seen whether it's going to be a kick or not.
Right. The holder is the kicker. Was it number 12?
Number 12.
I don't have him on our roster. Well, no good. So the kick is no good. The clock runs out. So we played one half of football here at Forest Hills Central, and the Kentwood's Falcons lead it 20-7. We'll be back with the second half right after this message. For WKTV TV 25, your high school sports channel for Wyoming, Kentwood, and games.
It starts with one person with a desire to serve. They join with others across the nation, citizen soldiers on a mission to protect and defend country and community. Most serve 1 weekend a month and 2 weeks a year to become part of something greater than themselves. Can you see yourself in this picture? Call 1-800-GO-GUARD or visit www.1800goguard.com. In the Army National Guard, you can.
Too many layers.
Well, back here at halftime, you see the Michigan Building and Mechanical Store is the Kentwood Falcons 20 and the Grandville Bulldogs 7. We're going to take a look at the final OK standings for the year 2002 and show you the teams and their records as to who made the playoffs. And Lyle, we're going to start with the OK Red, where we are right now. And as you can see there, the first 5 teams, Kentwood, West Ottawa, Grandville, Jenison, and Rockford, all made the playoffs.
Well, I told you time and time again, I think this is one of the toughest and probably one of the best Division I leagues in the state of Michigan. You get 5 teams in there with the records like those first 5, and those other 3 teams aren't bad teams. It's just the fact they're running head each week with Kentwood, the Ottawas, the West Ottawas, and Grandvilles, and Jenison, Rockfords. And it's a tough road to hoe, but it is a very, very tough league, and it shows year in and year out in these playoffs.
So our congratulations to John Shillito and his team for winning the OK Red. In the OK White, East Grand Rapids was a perfect on the year at 6-0 and 9-0, and they also made the playoffs along with Lowell, Hudsonville, and Forest Hills Northern. So 4 teams from the White, Lyle, made it.
And Northview just a step behind at 5-4. They had a great season, so just another victory here. And sometimes the rankings, the playoff rankings, allow some of those 5-4 teams in. They weren't far off.
And in the OK Gold, South Christian was 7-0, perfect in the conference. Only lost to Grand Rapids Christian their opening game of the season, and have run off 8 victories in a row since. And congratulations to the South Christian Sailors on their OK Gold championship, and also to Cedar Springs and Whaling, who made the playoffs there.
And then Sparta had a good turnaround season this year. Park finished a little bit out of the usual playoff picture, but they'll come back and they'll be a factor to contend with next year.
And then OK Blue proved to be real competitive, also sending 4 teams to the playoffs there. Coopersville with under the direction of Jim Meerman, I believe it is.
Jim Meerman.
Done a good job again this year.
Outstanding job. 9-0. They've been in the playoffs the last 4 or 5 years, and since he's been there, it's just been an outstanding program. But Byron Center, Belden, and Hamilton
also,
right there.
Gasper Jarmo having a good team over there at Byron Center, looking forward to playoffs. And in the OK Silver, two names you generally see up there. It's Allendale and Hopkins all the time, and Allendale winning it with a 6-0 record, Hopkins 5-1, and those 2 teams going to the playoffs. So we had 5 in the red, 4 in the white is 9, and then we had 4 in the blue is 13, and 16, about 18 teams from the conference in the playoffs, which is a very, very good representation for the OK League. And it shows the really quality of play that's in the OK Conference.
Well, Comstock Park too, Ray. On that OK Silver at 5-4, just missed the playoffs.
Yep.
And they ended up with a forfeit loss this year on a little bit of a mix-up on paperwork on a student, but they got that straightened out and come on and had a very good season and just narrowly missed being in the playoffs.
Well, we're only seconds away here from the opening, the kickoff of the second half. The Grandville Bulldogs will receive as the Falcons received the opening kickoff. They won the toss and accepted, took the football, but didn't have it for long as the Grandville Bulldogs came out with an onside kick and took it right away from them, and in one play scored. 11:50 to go, 10 seconds off the clock. Buddy Rivera had a 48-yard run and put them up 6-0, and they kicked the extra point and went up 7-0. And then the Falcons came back with 8:17 to go in the first period with Noel Alman capping off a 65-yard drive, but the extra point run was no good. And then they scored twice in the second period to go up 20-7. So Noel Alman will kick off for the Falcons as we get underway here with the second half. Good deep kick. All up into the end zone. They can't run it out, so they'll take it out to the Osfine. Caught it and a 1, but stepped back in the end zone, and so that's an automatic touchback. They'll bring it out to the 20.
Well, Ostveen wanted to run that ball back. He likes to run with that football, and every chance he gets on these kickoffs and punt returns, he does an excellent job, and he was a little disgusted he didn't get a chance to take that one back, but just a great kick by Alleman.
So Buddy Rivera. He has Sean Hybor and Andrew Hawkins in the backfield with him. Dropping back, looking, right side. He's got Osfine over there on the right side. He's all the way up to about the 40. A 20-yard gain right off the bat, coming right out, throwing the football.
Well, let's hope he's all right. That ball was well thrown and a great pattern by Osfine on that sideline go and hauled it in and made a great play after he caught the ball. So
Osfine and Ludomirski going wide to the left here. Give to 23, that's Justin Kohler. Put him on our charts.
Little sweep coming to this left side. He ran out of room. A good job by the Falcon defense of stringing it out and not allowing him to get going north and south.
Justin Kohler. No gains, going to be second down and 10. Mark it right at the 40.
We talked about the job the offensive line from the Falcons have been doing with that running game, the passing game. The Grandville Bulldog front has been doing a good job of giving Rivera plenty of time to throw that football, and nice job by them.
Osfine in motion. Keeper, Rivera, working his way up the middle. Hit by Alman. Alman brings him down at about the 48-yard line.
Great play by Rivera, faking the sweep with Hawkins and then running the delayed quarterback draw right up the middle and made great yardage before he was brought down. He's still limping a little bit, and they're sure going to need his athletic talent if they're going to stay in this ball game.
Well, if you can see, he's got his left ankle is taped right over his football, right over his shoe and everything, Lyle. So evidently it was his left ankle, probably a sprain. Hawkins up the middle, driving hard.
Well, that's their version of the wing tee of that fullback trap up the middle, coming out of that shotgun formation. So it's a very potent play when you run it out of that formation, as well as out of the direct snap with the quarterback making the handoff.
1st and 10 minutes to go in the third period.
Hawkins is a good runner in his own right, Ray. He's a different type of runner we've seen from the Falcons, but he does a great job of toting that ball.
Oh, he's got 2 men back with him now. Nope, he keeps it. Fakes to Hawkins. Throws down the right side again to Osfeen. Osfeen battling to the 1st-yard marker.
I think he stretched it out for the first down if they give him the spot. He did a nice job of
He
stretching
stepped
that ball
out.
out.
He stepped on the out of bounds line about 2 yards short. So, yard and a half. 2nd down.
Rivera continues to throw that ball right on the money, and good patterns by Osfeen on the outside there.
Osfeen's got good hands, hasn't he?
They're doing a good job of exploiting the Falcon secondary underneath and giving the ball quick to these receivers against that zone and letting them do what they can with their feet.
Osfeen comes wide to the left now.
There's Hawkins.
Up the middle. He's got the 1st down to the 30.
Oh, it's not Hawkins. It's 44.
That's Hybor. Sean.
Hawkins and Hybor are
44 and 45, and they're both about the same, 6 foot, 180, 200 pounds.
Kind of mirror each other, just a separation of one digit in the numbers there. So both exciting runners and fun to watch.
Hawkins maybe just a little bit heavier, but Rivera back, looking, throwing long. Intercepted at about the 2-yard line.
Looks like number 26, Ray.
28, I believe
28?
it is. 28,
Tough to
yep.
see.
That will be Dan Reynolds. Take a look at it here. I think it's 28, Lyle.
We got a flag on the play, so we're going to have to wait and see what's happening here. But he did a great job of getting between the receiver and the ball and coming down with the interception.
Personal foul against Kentwood. But evidently it was after the dead ball.
After the interception.
So they'll take it back half the distance to the goal. And they'll put it back at the looks like the 1-yard line.
1 or 2 yard line. It's going to be deep.
So let's see once. Yep, let's going to call it the 1.
Well, they've had a little success with that little out pass, that little short sideline pass to Oostveen, and that time it was a kind of a stop and go, and he did a pump. Rivera did a pump and tried to get the ball deep, but a good job by the defensive back to get between the receiver and the ball and come up with a big interception. Good defense.
So now the Falcons, 1st and 10. The backs to the goal line to get some breathing room out to about the 5 or 6.
It looks like Foster. No.
That's Hinton, Kyle Hinton, number 44. So 2nd down and 5. So they get some, at least get their backs out of the end zone, Lyle. Right at the goal line, but 2nd and 5 at the 5. Yeah, no gain on that one. Maybe a yard, but that's about it.
Well, if they take this one the length of the field, Ray, that's 99 yards. That'd be
well, they went 90 on the drive before.
That's correct. They're very capable of doing it, but it would be a real thorn in the side of the Bulldogs if they were to take this one the full length of the field and consume some clock time.
Foster back in as Burns comes out. So we'll have Hinton, Elmon, and Foster in the backfield, along with quarterback Corey Saunders.
Coach Shelto's been running the plays into these backs, shuffling them in and out, calling the plays.
Foster, left side, no gain. So it's 4th down, 4. They're going to have to punt. And it's
Gave
going
the
to be
kicker a little bit more room, Ray.
Yep.
If he'd had to kick from where they started, it had been a tough situation, but they were able to bring that ball out 6-7 yards and give you some room to
Cole
kick the ball.
Oman standing about 3 yards deep in the end zone. High snap, almost over his head. No.
I think they drew Grandville off sides.
Ooh, they did. That's a 1st down. Ooh, that hurts.
Especially where they had them pinned.
It is. Offside Grandville. It's going to be a 1st down for the Falcons. Wow.
You don't want to give a team like that too many second chances. They may have been after a block and somebody just got a little bit excited.
So 1st and 10, mark it at the 10-yard line. Now it's more like the, where is it? 8-yard line. Here comes Oman. He's going to break it. It's a foot race. Cut down at the 39-yard line by David Kuzminski. Saved a touchdown, I'll tell you.
Nice run by Alleman. Watch the blocking up front and the fullback trap right at the center. Once he gets out in the secondary, he's tough to bring down, but Kuzminski did a nice job of staying right with him, keeping his angle and bringing him down the open field. Tough tackle, but a great job.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line. Now.
You gave him an inch, they took a mile.
Hinton, Foster, and Alman in the backfield. Hinton brought to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Just a little power sweep coming off that right side, just a direct handoff to Krenensky, and then the other 2 backs leading and trying to make something happen off that off-tackle play.
2nd down and 10. Same set in the backfield. Long count. Nope. Kentwood jumped that time. Right side of the line. Missed the count. So they'll walk off 5, and it'll be 2nd down and 15.
I think they were looking to try to catch Grandville again and using that long count or a stutter count, and
well, it kind of backfired on him, didn't it?
Right, that time it did. Grandville doing a good job defensively. They're not staying in that same front. They're moving people around and using those linebackers, and they're bringing them part of the time and giving them some different looks.
Saunders. Oman to middle. Down to about the 38 line. It gets the 5 yards back. They lost on a penalty, so it'll be 3rd and 10.
The last thing you want to do against this wing T offense, Ray, is get a stand in one defense and give that offensive line a chance to zero in and see where you are play after play. They'll sooner or later they'll get to you. But Grandville's doing a good job of mixing up those stunts and things on that front and doing a pretty good job of holding this high-powered offense in check.
Keeper, Saunders. Coming inside the 30 to about the 29, short of the 1st down by about a yard. So we'll see if this is 4-down territory, I would think.
He's not only a quick little runner, Ray, he's got a little bit of strength. He shed a couple tackles there. He could, for all practical purposes, could have been caught in the backfield, but he shook a couple of those guys off and turned disaster into a pretty good gain for the Falcons.
What, he took a pretty good hit, too.
Yes, he did,
but he's 5'9", 185 pounds.
He's put together well. Look at those pins on him.
Yep. Allman got the 1st down up the middle. Good mark.
See what they get. Oh, it's going to be
1st down.
Sanders would probably make a pretty good running back in this offense, right, if he wasn't such a good quarterback.
Yeah, he showed he can run the football, that's for sure. 1st and 10, mark it at the 27. Again, Hinton, Allman, Foster in the backfield.
There's Foster.
Foster breaking it loose. Stays on his feet. Touchdown.
Oh, what a great individual
effort.
effort.
What an effort.
Foster, once he got into secondary, Ray, got through that line of scrimmage, he just refused to go down. They faked that ball up inside to Allman and then run a little counter going off tackle. Again, good blocking by that front. Watch the guard come out of there and get a good trap block, and then Foster step right in behind it. Just a beautiful run, but watch him shake a couple tackles here and skate himself into the end zone. Nice run. Nice blocking up front.
I'll tell you, that's a big time score. When they went 99 yards after they had stopped Grandville at the 3 yard line and had a penalty back to the 1 and a half, and went 99 yards. That's a big play. Allman's got it, working. Can he get in? No, he didn't. Run no good. So your Michigan Building and Mechanical scores: the Kentwood Falcons 26, the Grandville Bulldogs 7. We'll be right back right after this message. We're WKTV, TV 25. We're your high school sports channel.
The passage is intense, but if you complete the journey, you will find your destiny among the world's greatest warriors. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hey, get ready, we're back. Change numbers or something. Hell, I don't know.
We're back. Back here at Forest Hill Central. Great drive on the part of the Falcons, 99 yards. He had a 90-yard drive with is capped off there just within the minute of the first half, and now come back with a 99-yard drive here in the second half. Again, kick down to about the 17-yard line, taken there, coming left side, got some opening. Oh, tripped up. Number 23 for the Bulldogs, and that's Justin Kohler.
Another one likes to get his hands on the ball in that kicking game. When he gets it in that open field, he can make some exciting things happen. He and Oostvein are fun to watch when they get that ball going back up that field on these kick returns.
So 1st and 10.
Well, that penalty on the 4th down situation really hurt the Bulldogs, and you can't do that with a team like with Kentwood.
Make you pay for it, don't they? Keeps it, looking. Uh-oh, there's flags all over. I would say that could be a hold or something, but we'll wait and see. We won't second guess it. Face mask on the Falcons. That's going to be inadvertent, 5-yarder. It'll be 1st and 5.
You can see that ankle injury taking a little bit of toll on Rivera. He seemed to be about 1 step slower than he was when he started this ball game. But what a gutsy performance to come in there and have that ankle wrapped.
We can get a close-up of the camera on his the quarterback's left foot. You can see it's taped very heavily.
There's that
Hawkins,
snap
right
Hawkins.
straight up. Uh-oh, he's going to break it.
Don't clip.
Foster's the only guy who can catch him, not going to catch him. Touchdown, Grandville.
Well, we talked about that trigger man back there standing next to Rivera in that shotgun, and the direct snap to Hawkins, and they ran their version of that fullback trap right straight up. And once he got out into the secondary, broke by that linebacker core, he was headed for the goal line. It was Katie bar the door, and nobody was going to catch him.
So 65-yard run, 3:08 to go, 3rd period. They'll try a kick for the extra point. It's up, it's long enough. It's good. So the score is 26-13. We'll be right back. Right after this message, Michigan Building and Mechanical underwriting tonight's game. We'll be right back. Wow, 3:08 to go in the third period. It's 26-14. The Falcons lead it, but the Bulldogs, I'll tell you that fourth down play over there, Lyle, with a penalty that gave them first down, and then they continued to drive 99 yards, or otherwise they'd have had to punt it out of there before. And
the snap on the punt, too, was a little bit high. Alleman did a nice job of hauling it down, but he didn't really have to because of the penalty. But just when it looked a little bit bleak for the Bulldogs, they come bouncing back on a great play by Hawkins.
There's a short kick into the zone over there. They'll let it go out of bounds, and it'll bring it up to the 35-yard line again. Looks like you're trying to keep it away from Corey Saunders and a couple of the other guys deep back there, Lyle.
Well, I'm sure they're got a lot of respect for that talent that those guys got back there with their feet, and they don't want to get a running head start with that ball coming upfield, and they're trying to find some holes on either side of the field and try to drop the ball in there, but that time just got out of bounds.
So the Falcons take over on their own 35, leading 26-14 now. Long count again. Alman, about 7 or 8. Osfeen on the tackle. Nick doing a good job defensively also.
Alleman does a good job of finding those holes, and a lot of times the hole where he wants to run isn't there, and he has to slide along that line of scrimmage until he can find one, and he found one going laterally that time off that left side and picked up 7 or 8 big yards. Just a great piece of running.
Same 3 setbacks. Foster. Up to about the midfield, 49-yard line. Well, they're going to mark it 48. First down for the Falcons with 2:19 now remaining in the third period.
This is the type of offense you don't know if they're blessed with a lot of good backs or whether it's the offense bringing the talent out that these backs have. But, boy, they've got 3 or 4 great runners back there. Foster on the season a little better than 7 yards a carry, so he had a great season.
Alman, about 4 yards. Be second down. Call it. Yeah, let's call it 7. Ball's 48-yard line of Grandville. Justin Berry is the center in there for the Falcons. And I think it's Justin Pollock as a left guard. Let me get some of those names for you.
Foster
again. Foster again, left side, but he gets back to line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain. It's going to be 3rd and 7. .68.
We've got
there. That's Matthew Cableman. We mentioned him before.
Number 58 on our scorecard, Ray, is...
that's Rick Tuitman, I believe it is.
Tuitman, yes. And on our score sheet, Quattachet is listed there as a starter, but we haven't seen number 50. I don't know if it's a number change or whether he's hurt and not playing. I see a 50 on the sidelines there, but if it's Stupin in there, number 58, he's done an excellent job all night long.
Holman going all the way down inside the 22, about the 19-yard line.
You can see the escort he had going downfield and just following those blocks, not trying to do it all on his own. Just
all the way back here at his own 45 was Corey Saunders, who had carried out the fake and was tackled back there.
Watch the people downfield on the escort.
1st and 10. Hinton, Alman, Foster in the backfield. 1st and 10. Hinton. Kyle cutting back. Fuck it, in the end zone. Touchdown. 18-yard run.
Well, left and right and up the middle, and if you're not on your toes, they're going to go around you with that quarterback, and you just never know where it's coming from. First it's Foster going left, now Hinton coming to the right.
Cutting, look at that, just doesn't quit. Right. Carry 2 men into the end zone.
Then they give you a dose of Alleman up the middle. It's just a great offense with great running backs, a great offensive line, and great execution.
12 seconds remaining in the third. They go for 2 as always. Hint. Straight ahead. He's got it. Makes it 34. 14-34 is your Michigan Building and Mechanical score. We'll be right back with a kickoff right after this message for WKTV TV 25.
Education is the key that opens a door to endless opportunities, adventures, and experiences. Without education, life is a continuing cycle of closed doors. This message brought to you by the United States Air Force, because we know the value of a good education.
Well, back here, the score, 34-14 now with 12 seconds remaining in the third period. And just another one of those great football games, Lyle. We're seeing just some great execution on the part of the offenses. I mean, somebody might say, well, there's no defense in this, but it's great execution on the part of the offense.
Both these teams are doing a good job offensively, and these defenses aren't doing a bad job. It's got to be awful frustrating for the Bulldogs to know where it's coming from and not be able to stop it.
Picked up at the 10.
There he goes again.
Yep.
Look at that guy scoot.
That guy is Nick Osteen. Does a great job. Brings the ball all the way up. We're going to mark it, I think, at the 30. They will. So 4 seconds remaining.
Well, they were down similar to this last week, Ray, late in the game, and came right back and tied it up.
So we'll get one play here yet in the third period, barring any penalty. Buddy Rivera, the quarterback, got a man in motion. That'll be Osteen. Hawkins up the middle. No, that's Sean Hybor carry that time. Wasn't the first time that we made that mistake, is it?
No, probably won't be the last.
Well, we played 3 quarters, and your Michigan Building and Mechanical score is the Kentwood Falcons 34, the Grandville Bulldogs 14. We'll be right back with the fourth quarter right after this message.
My dad is a hero. He goes into places normal people want to get away from. He rescues families, makes everyone safe. But the best thing he can do is come home.
The U.S. Fire Administration reminds you to protect the heroes who protect our lives. Have a smoke alarm on every floor. Test it monthly. Replace the battery yearly. Do your part to get out. before they have to come in.
Well, back here you see the crowd across the way. I believe that's across the way at Grandville. Yep, it is. See the Bulldog signs all along the fence back there. They've got a sign for every ball player on the team with their name and number on it, and it says "Go Dogs."
That's a great
support on the part of the.
Both these schools have
Grandville.
great fan support. Parents do a
yeah.
nice job in the community of taking care of their teams and so forth. We talked a little bit about that Falcon line, Ray. That Bulldog offensive line's been doing a pretty good job all night. And that starts with number 60, Drew Engels at center, Spicer at one guard, and it looks like Zarowitz at the other guard, and Latimersky on the left side at tackle and end, and then on the other side you got Sheeran and English at the tackle and end respectively. So good job by the Bulldog offensive line tonight.
Buddy
There's
Rivera keeping
Rivera.
it himself, coming up the middle. He's got first down. He's all the way up to midfield almost at the 48-yard line. Rivera showing his ability to run.
A lot of spunk playing on a bad ankle.
Yeah. Man goes out with a sprained ankle. They tape him up, and he comes back in.
Well, you aren't going to keep him out of a game like this, you know.
No.
Too much at stake. And he's too much of a competitor to let something like a sprained ankle stop him.
Well, I tell you, he's only a junior too. So
be fun to see him back.
Drop back. Oh, there he goes. You just can't give him any room. He's got 7 or 8 yards.
Sometimes that's not something you teach a kid like that. That's just great presence of mind in the pocket, and doesn't let anything bother him going on around him. People or bodies flying all over, and he's keeping his mind on what he's supposed to be doing, his composure, and makes big things happen out of nothing. Just a great athlete.
Second down at about 3. Hawkins right straight ahead. It was a direct snap to Hawkins that time. But the Falcons were not fooled. Stayed right there for about a yard gain, and that's it. Not even that, really.
They turned that play into a big touchdown run in the last quarter, but that time the Falcons were setting on it. They're very close to 4-down zone, so.
Hybor out. Hawkins now moves over to the right side of Buddy in motion. Osfeen, fake to him.
First down.
Rivera keeps it right straight forward to the 40. He's got it.
Well, they've used that little motion play coming back with the slot man coming back across the formation, giving him the ball and letting him sweep one side or the other. That time Rivera did a nice job of faking the little sweep and just ran the delayed quarterback draw straight ahead and found that first down mark and got the ball there.
They start the clock after they move the chains. First down, you see it set right on the 40-yard line. Well, a little different than last week. Last week, this time of the game, we couldn't see any numbers on the uniforms. Buddy dropping back, throwing over the middle. He's got Hybor down inside the 25.
Great reception, a great pattern by Hybor. He ran out of that slot on the left side. Normally, when they go to that 4-receiver set, they've been taking Hybor out and bringing in another wide-out receiver. But that time, left him in there, and he found that little seam right down that left side, and nice strike by Rivera.
First and 10, it's a 25. 9:40 to go in the game. Buddy Rivera has Hybor and Hawkins right with him now. Keeper. Rivera straight ahead, down to about the 21, 22.
Well-designed play, Ray. He faked that ball to Hybor that time, and almost like an isolation play on that little draw, he let Hybor go. And when Hybor did a nice job of going through that line hard, supplying a block, and Rivera stepping right in behind him, and almost like a quarterback isolation play. Well-designed and well-executed. I like the things they've done with this offense.
Second down. Call it 7. Reverse. Coming this side. Getting outside.
There's Mr.
Brought
Excitement,
down.
number 3.
Yep, that's Nick Osfeen again. First down.
They've
Take a
been
look
running
at it
that
right here.
reverse, Ray, and faking that reverse several times tonight. And this time they gave the ball to him coming back. And like we said, once he gets that ball and gets his feet in gear, he's a tough little cookie to bring down. Fun to watch.
Tell you, number 50 there for the Falcons. That's Shady Karesh. Did a good job of saving a touchdown.
Kratachet.
There
They had him listed as an offensive starter, but he's also playing on that defense. I haven't seen him much
Rivera
on offense. Watch out.
Keeps it. Cutting. Inside the 5 to about the 3. Well, he had a lot of open field in front of him, and he took advantage of it and picked up about 6-7 yards.
That's where he's so dangerous. That's the purpose of spreading this offense, giving a guy like Rivera with the talent he's got and the feet that he's got to create, and he sure can do that in the open field. You can create a 6-on-6 and 7-on-7 across that 54 yards of field. That gives a kid like Rivera plenty of room to operate.
Webster goes in the slot right now, and you've got Osfien in the slot left. Rivera looking, he's got the man over. Touchdown? No, dropped it. He was open, slant
Ball
right
was
in there.
Laid right on. Nice throw by Rivera. Just a slant coming off that wide out on the left side, and it laid it right on the numbers.
So Ryan Lotomersky was the intended receiver, but slipped through his fingertips. 3rd and 3. Hawkins, direct snap to Hawkins, straight ahead. He's in for the touchdown.
You have a hard time convincing a lot of people that's a wing T play, Ray. That direct snap and that fullback trap right up the middle, but that's basically what it is. You'll watch Hawkins take that direct snap and watch the blocking up front, and he just fouls it right into the end zone. Good fake by Rivera, too.
So now we'll see what they do here for the extra point. They're going to go for 2, I believe.
That's what it looks like.
Down by 14. Highbor. He goes, quarterback goes up under center this time, and he keeps it himself. It's
going to be a procedure penalty, Ray. There was some movement there.
Well, they're going to take it back. So instead of 3 yards for the extra point,
it's an illegal
it'll be
shift.
8. Or excuse me, for the touchdown.
They had 2 men in motion. They had an illegal shift going there.
So it'll be marked at the 8-yard line for the extra point.
They're in a position where 1 or 2 points doesn't hurt them.
Back to throw, looking. Now he runs it himself. He's going to get in. He does. So run by Rivera is good for the extra point, the 2-point conversion, which will make it 22 points for the Bulldogs, 34
Lofton
for the
talked
Falcons.
about shooting guards. Ray never met a shot they didn't like. I don't think there's a run that Rivera hasn't seen that he doesn't like. Give him that ball, and he can sure make things happen when he makes up his mind to do it.
Well, let's keep it right here while we wait for the kickoff. Remind you that we are bringing you girls basketball on Tuesdays. I think next week we've got 2 of them, Tuesday and Thursday. And we'll be back if the Falcons win. We will follow them next week again on Friday night. Lyle and I will be here. A lot of media coverage tonight. WBBL is covering it. All the sports channels, the sports departments are out here. This is one of the big games in the area, along with East Grand Rapids game, I'm sure is being covered real well.
Well, you would have a hard time convincing these schools playing tonight. It's not the biggest game in Western Michigan for each of them. So, a lot of hopes riding on all of their games.
Well, fans, if you don't go out and see high school sports, you ought to try it once. Can't spend a better evening. They're going to look for an onside kick here. Look at them load up on the left side over there. They do. It's loose.
Oh, let's see what happens.
Kentwood's got it on their own 48.
That was close. That was great execution, that onside kick, and it almost bounced off one of the Kentwood players, but did a nice job of getting on the ball. If you look at those kids coming off the field, Ray, you see a lot of receivers and back numbers out there, so they basically had their all-hands team out there.
Kyle Perry was one of the running backs over there, number 2. One of the guys that was right in there, too. I think he might have been the guy that got it. So 1st and 10 for the Falcons, starting on their own 48 now. Straight forward.
One thing about the Falcon offense, Ray, you don't have to worry about what formation they're going to line up in. The only thing you got to worry about is being able to see the ball and who's going to get it.
Yeah, just wait till the play's over and pick up the number afterwards, I guess. 2nd down 5. That was Noel Alman.
That's just a great job of discipline, you know, and coaching and teaching these kids to stay patient with what they do and do it well. And it's just repetition, and you can see the practice has really paid off.
Discipline, huh?
Oh, that's where it starts.
Again, up the middle. Noel. One gets.
They got a great teacher in Coach Shillito. I mean, teaching patience and knowing this offense and teaching it and staying with it. Good coach. These two coaches on the sidelines are as good as they come. You know, young coaches, and they've been at it a long. They're young, but they've been at it a long time.
Well, they've been in football their life. You
right.
know, Irv Ziegler III.
Right,
he doesn't say any more than that, do we?
Yeah, he started out as a ball boy. He had to be on the football field from the time he could walk.
Foster goes forward. Got the 1st down to the 40-yard line. And so now the Falcons have the football with 6 minutes, 6 seconds to go and a 12-point lead. And if they can keep it on the ground, Lyle, and just grind it out, they can eat up a lot of this clock.
I'm sure that's what they want to do. They want to take as much clock as they possibly can, not make any mistakes, not give the ball up, and keep it going forward. Take what comes. They break one, fine. If they don't, let's choose the clock.
Straight up the middle. Noel. 2, 3 yards. Well, make it 4. 4-yard gain. 2nd down 6. Shillito comes out. Pretty much stayed with those 3 backs, same 3 backs in there. It's Foster, Hinton, and Alman. Left side. That was Foster, number 5. And Eric is not getting up real fast this time.
Collision on that play. He went in there with a full head of steam, and there was some good hitting on both sides of the ball that time.
So Eric is down, being attended to by the trainers. Well, let's take a break for a public service announcement. There are Michigan Building and Mechanical scores. The Kentwood Falcons 34, the Grandville Bulldogs 22. We'll be right back right after this message. We're WKTV, TV 25.
America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crowned thy good with brotherhood. From sea to shining.
Find out what you can do. Contact Volunteers of America today.
Well, we're happy to see Eric Foster walk off under his own power. after being down. Looks like he took a good hit, maybe got his bell rung, I think.
Well, he delivered a good hit on that run. He put his nose in there and made some positive things happen. He didn't get an awful lot of yardage, but it was a positive yardage, and he paid the price for it at the end, but he didn't shy away from it.
So Ronald Burns in now, along with Ullman and Hinton. Straight ahead. Ullman. Inside the 30 to about the 28. He's got the first down, and the clock will stop while they move the chains.
Another example of good patience running. He wanted to take that thing, it looks like, a little bit to the left, but he had to slide 2-3 holes to the right to find an opening, and when he did, he just poked his nose in there and got the first down, especially in this offense.
4:23 to go. With the Falcons have the football, the clock becomes an enemy of the Grandville Bulldogs. Lyle?
To get it back, they're going to have to get a big stop on here and get the ball in the hands of their offense if they want to stay in this ball game.
Straight ahead. Power football. Noel Ullman. Gain of about 3. Maybe 2. Call it 2. 2nd and 8.
They're going to want to get untangled a little faster than they have been there. They're going to want to use this clock to their advantage.
I'll tell you, some of those linemen are getting up a little bit slower now, Lyle. It's been a tough night on that interior line all night long.
Well, both defensively and offensively. Yes. They've been slugging it out, and it's just been a great game in the trenches.
Corey Sanders, quarterback, doing a great job of running this offense. Hitting right side, got a hole. Almost broke the tackle. He's close to the first down marker at the 20-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down and 1.
He was just one tackle away from taking that thing all the way.
Now Ron Burns comes back in and Hinton comes out.
Both these coaches can be awfully proud of their lines tonight, both offensively and defensively. It's been a war in those trenches, and these kids have responded pretty darn well.
And Lyle, Eric Foster is back in. So he only missed about a play or 2. Straight ahead. Ullman.
When it's straight ahead, you know who it is.
Yep, he got the first down. So they'll stop the clock, move the chains with 2:32.
He's brought him to the dance all season, Ray, and you better dance with him because he's the one that's leading, and he's doing a heck of a job of it.
So I'll tell you, they only need to get about one more first down, and that's going to really eat up the clock. Grandville's going to have to think about using some of those timeouts. Hinton, right side. Goings, still going. Close to the first down marker at about the 8-yard line.
You look at that spacing of that Falcon line, and they're almost foot to foot. And it's amazing that these backs can find a hole to run, but the scheme of the angle block, the knockdown block, and the kick out by the trapping guards and so forth is what opens these holes. And these backs are very patient and taking their time and finding those holes and stepping into them. And once they step into them, they do some nice things in the open field.
2nd down and 2. Clock running with 1:30 now. Up the middle. Grandville's going to take a timeout now, I believe. No. You get the first down, they did. Stop the clock while they move the markers, and they'll start it again with 1:15.
Well, they've done exactly what they want to do with this drive, is to control the ball and control the clock and run it down and put the game out of reach. And with 1:05, it looks like they've accomplished both those goals.
Corey Saunders. Hinton right side. Close to goal line, down to about the 1 or 2. Down the 1-yard line. Now under 1 minute with 45 seconds.
I don't look for him to run another play.
No, I think they'll take a knee right here.
They certainly don't have to run another play, and let's see what Coach Shillito is going to do.
Saunders takes a knee.
Sit down.
Now that's good sportsmanship right there. Not to score again. They don't need it. And the clock will run out with 9 seconds to go. The Kentwood Falcons are victorious here tonight at Forest Hills Central Field for the second week in a row. They are victorious over the Grandville Bulldogs. You see the two teams meet at the center of the field, shaking hands, showing what it is to be good sports in high school athletics, Lyle. As both teams meet center field, they certainly know each other. So we'll be right back with the Michigan Building and Mechanical final score is the Kentwood Falcons 34 and the Grandville Bulldogs 22. We'll be right back after this message. Hi, I'm Ray Peeler, sports anchor here at WKTV. We have a need that perhaps you can help us fill. As you know, last year we lost one of our sports announcers, in Ed Kotler. His passing left a void in our sportscasting team. If you have experience as a coach or perhaps as an official and would like to become part of the WKTV team, give us a call at the station. The numbers be on the bottom of the screen or later on in the telecast. Give us a call. Perhaps you can help us out. We're looking for someone with basketball experience to telecast girls basketball on WKTV. If you can help us, give us a call. Thank you. Well, Lyle, 2 weeks in a row, the same teams, the same result. This time a little bit wider margin, but certainly Grandville in the ball game all the way with a 34-22 score.
There's no doubt about that. Right up until that last drive, if they could have stopped that drive that Kentwood took 99 yards on that, gave them that second break on that penalty, and who knows what the outcome would have been. But just a great ball game. Both these teams well prepared. Both these teams pretty much knew what each other team was going to do, and just come out tonight and put on just a great show offensively.
So now the East Kentwood Falcons will meet the winner of the Jenison-West Ottawa game. We don't know what that was, but we know that West Ottawa jumped out to an early lead, but we don't know what the final score was.
35-27 right now in the fourth quarter, Ray. So
West Ottawa ahead? Okay.
West Ottawa.
But in any case, we'll be right back here next week at Forest Hills Central Field, which will be the home field for the Falcons for the tournament because they will have home field advantage. And we'll have that game for you next Friday night. So until then, for Lyle Berry and the whole crew, this is Ray Peeler saying good night. Be good sports, everybody.